PJ Crowley, how would you summarize the first day of direct negotiation between Israel and the Palestinians?
Well, we're very gratified that after 20 months, we do have the parties back in direct negotiations. This is very important. It's the only way that the issues can be resolved and we can lead to an agreement between the two sides. I think we were encouraged by the obvious commitment of Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Abbas and the courage that they displayed, notwithstanding the violence of the last 48 hours. Obviously, attempt to undermine the peace process or derail talks before they even get started. And both leaders showed their determination today, their courage today, that despite the violence, they're going to pursue peace.
What were you able to achieve today? Is there a minimum level of trust between the two leaders today that they can work and build on in the future?
I mean, both leaders acknowledged today that there's an understanding of the core issues, but there's clearly differences, of both sides in their understanding of the core issues. I think what was most meaningful today was, supported by George Mitchell and Secretary Clinton, just like last night with President Obama. But today, the leaders themselves spent 90 minutes together, alone, no aides, and it is this direct process, this work together. These are the two leaders that will have to make the difficult concessions, and overcome the differences that do exist. But they sat alone, and that is the process by which this will build trust and momentum going forward.
How are you going to overcome the September 26 obstacle?
We'll do it just as we did it today. The leaders themselves will have to sit, understand each other, understand what both need from a policy standpoint, from a political standpoint, and find a way to resolve the differences that do exist.
We just spoke with Nabil Shah, the member of the Palestinian delegation, and he told us if there even a symbolic building on the Israeli side, for us it means that it will torpedo, that was the term used, it will torpedo the talks, and for us it's the end of the road.
Well, understand that today we just resumed a negotiation, and a negotiation always involved positions that both sides stake out, and then the kind of quiet dialogue, tough negotiation, wrestling with the issues that help them to overcome obstacles on the way to peace. But what we saw today was exactly what we'll need to see day in and day out in the coming days and weeks to get past these obstacles and work towards an ultimate agreement.
You still have a month till the end of September, the frightening day. So what will be a good progress on the ground in order that the settlement issue wouldn't be the most important issue, or at least the issue that everyone is talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about all of the core issues. We understand what they are, and as Secretary Clinton said today, we have veterans on both sides. They've been through this before. They know each other well. They understand the issues well. Now it's just a matter of sitting and going through the hard work of working through every detail of each of these complex issues. That's what we wanted the parties to do. It's the only way that we get from where we are to an ultimate agreement and two states living side by side in peace and security.
Do you get the impression that Benjamin Netanyahu is serious, that he really would like to see if there is possible to reach peace between Israel and the Palestinians?
We saw a serious good faith effort today, supported by the United States. This is what we will need going forward. But again, we saw in the last 48 hours two visions in the Middle East. You saw two leaders today committed to peace, determined to work past attempts to derail the process. And unfortunately, you see in the region Hamas overtly trying to undermine, if not kill the process. We're going to support these leaders. We're encouraged that others in the region will do so as well. The presence of President Mubarak and King Abdullah last night symbolizes the support that we see in the region. This is what we've done differently this time from Camp David 10 years ago. We have involved the region from the very outset. As George Mitchell said today, what is also different is that other administrations have come to support this process, but done so usually in a second term. President Obama has committed this as a priority in the first term. Other peace processes have run out of time. This one, we have a commitment, and we have time, and we have the will to try to reach an ultimate agreement. We understand it will not be easy. There's no guarantee of success, but we understand that this attempt has meaning, and if we fail to achieve this or fail to attempt this, then where does the region go?
You mentioned the Egyptians and the Jordanians, and they are, of course, major ingredients in backing up the Palestinians, but the most significant player, the Saudi Arabians, weren't here.
Actually, I would say that the two most significant players sat quietly for 90 minutes together, side by side, beginning the process of working through the issues and building trust. It was very meaningful for us that Prime Minister Netanyahu last night and today turned to President Abbas and said, I see in you a partner in this journey. We're going to help them do that, but ultimately, while there will be support in the region, and we have no question of support in the region, and certainly, again, what's different from Camp David, you have the Arab Peace Initiative supported and advanced by King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. That underpins this process as well. That gives us confidence that the ingredients of peace are there. We just have to help support these leaders as they make the difficult decisions that gets us to a final agreement.
But are you going to pursue the Saudis and maybe trying to bring them to give their blessing to this important process?
We think that there will be support in the region when needed. But right now, I think the two key players are President Abbas, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the work that they do together, supported by their teams, supported by the United States. That is the process by which we will ultimately reach an agreement.
J Crowley, thank you very much.